My beloved child, listen carefully to the words I am about to speak to you, for this is no longer the time to hesitate or turn back. I have placed upon your shoulders a sacred responsibility, a mission that only you can fulfill, and now the season has come for you to step in and carry it out. Before this week comes to a close, you must be ready to obey. Not because I am pressing you with force, but because I know the time is ripe and the doors that are opening will not wait for indecision. Do you not see it? Among all the smiling faces out there, countless souls are quietly breaking. There are those who pass through your life in silence, carrying questions no one answers, wounds no one touches, and cries for help that echo only within themselves, unheard by others. They do not scream, they do not rebel, they do not beg, but they are waiting for someone sensitive enough to perceive what their eyes are truly saying. Waiting for a heart tender enough to listen to what they cannot put into words. And you, yes, you are the one I am calling to rise up in this very hour. I know you have withdrawn before out of fear of being hurt, out of weariness, out of doubt as to whether you could help anyone else while still fighting your own battles inside. But my child, it is precisely the wounds you carry that make you the most effective instrument in my hands. Because you have suffered, you understand pain. Because you have once been lost, you know how to guide others back. Do not wait until you feel perfectly strong before you move forward. Walk, even in trembling, for my grace will strengthen you. There are people you will encounter this week who are not there by chance. They do not appear randomly, but because I have arranged it. Every conversation, every glance, every seemingly ordinary moment has been purposefully set in place from above. You do not need to prepare a long sermon. All that is required is that you open your heart, that you show up fully with true love, and you will see my power working through your gentleness. A sincere question, an encouraging smile, a timely embrace, these are the miracles I use to heal the souls that are bleeding within. I have declared, and if anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones because he is my disciple, truly I tell you that person will certainly not lose their reward. Matthew 10:42. Therefore do not underestimate the small things you do in love. They may be the very seeds that save a dying soul. You do not know how many times the person you are about to encounter has thought of giving up on life. You do not know whether the words you are about to speak might be the last bridge keeping them from the abyss, but I know, and I have chosen you. My child, this is not merely an invitation, it is an urgent plea. For I see hearts that are breaking, and I cannot stand by when you, the bearer of my light, walk past them as though they were unseen. You may be the last person they meet with a shred of hope. You may be the final spark in the darkness that surrounds them. So do not rush. Slow your steps. Look carefully. Pray unceasingly. Listen more deeply. And be ready to become the answer to someone's silent cry. You will be amazed to discover that a single kind word from you can soothe a pain that has lingered for decades. You may never fully see the results of obedience in a fleeting moment. But in heaven, every tear you wipe away, every loneliness you quietly share will be recorded in detail. Nothing you do in my name is meaningless. Every act of love is multiplied like the loaves and fishes in my hands. And if you are afraid, remember this, you are never alone. I will walk with you. I will place words upon your lips, pour love into your heart, and uphold you whenever you grow weak. I do not need you to be perfect. I only need you to be willing. Do not disqualify yourself from the mission because you think you are not enough. It is precisely because of your weakness that my grace is made perfect. Go, and you will see that every step you take is sheltered under heaven's care. My beloved child, this is a sacred moment I have set apart for you to act. Let the light within you shine into the darkest corners of humanity. Let my love flow through you like a stream refreshing a barren field. And when you look back, you will see that this week was not merely a passing of days. It was a divine plan fulfilled through the obedience of a small yet faith-filled soul, you. My beloved child, I need you to remember something important. The souls I want you to reach are not always easy to recognize. They are not necessarily the ones weeping openly in the crowd or raising their hands in desperate pleas for help. True pain often hides itself well. It conceals itself behind bright eyes, behind a forced smile, behind tough words spoken in self-defense. You must learn to look beyond appearances, to see with the eyes of compassion I have placed within you. I have given you a gift, not to keep hidden, but to use. It is the gift of deep empathy, a heart that trembles at what no one else notices. When others see someone who seems fine, you can feel the trembling within them. When others hear a strong voice, you can detect the cracks of wounds still unhealed. Do not dismiss these impressions, for they are the promptings of the Spirit. You were created not merely to exist, but to discern, not simply to hear, but to listen deeply, not only to glance, but to truly see. That is why I allowed you to walk through many difficult seasons in the past. The wounds you once carried were not meaningless. They trained you to be sensitive to the pain of others. They taught you that sometimes what people need most is not a solution, but someone willing to step into the darkness with them and stay. There are people you are about to meet who will never speak the words, "I need help." They will keep smiling, keep working, keep seeming fine in the eyes of everyone else, but inside they are breaking, and you are the one I am sending. Do not wait for them to cry out. Be the one to reach out first. Let your gentleness be a place where they can rest. Let your presence become a safe haven for weary souls. I did not choose you because you are perfect. I chose you because you are willing. And I have equipped you with everything you need to step into those fragile places, moments where only someone carrying light can enter. Do not demand to understand everything. Sometimes all it takes is for you to speak a single word, to look into someone's eyes and sincerely ask, "Are you really okay?" And in that moment, a wall built over years can crumble. Believe that the small things you do in spiritual sensitivity will bring about great change. Believe that your very fragility will be the place where my power is revealed most strongly. For I do not act through the strength of the flesh, but through the simple obedience of a trusting heart. My child, I have called you for such moments as these, not to stand out, but to reach, not to display yourself, but to bring others home, not to be praised, but to love in silence. And it is in that very silence that you will see heaven shaken. You may not see results right away. You may not receive thanks. Those you help may never mention it again. But I see. I record every act of yours. I place them in the eternal memory of heaven. For in my kingdom, nothing done in love is ever in vain. Therefore, do not doubt your gift. Do not fear that you are too sensitive. Do not think that what you feel is too imagined. It is I who placed those intuitions in your heart. It is I who cause your heart to ache when you pass by a soul that is bleeding within. It is I who keep you awake when someone says I'm fine, yet you discern their soul crying out. That is heaven's alarm sounding. That is a call to action, and you must not ignore it. You are the one I have given the key to open the door of hope for hearts that are locked. You are the one I have chosen to draw near to those who have closed themselves off from the world. And though you may come quietly, I will make your presence echo within them as a call to awakening. Do not hesitate when you feel weak. For when you are weak, then I am strong in you. 2 Corinthians 1:2-1:0. Let me do my work through you. All you need is to step forward with a tender heart, and I will perform the miracle. I will cause barren places to blossom hearts of stone, to turn tender and weary souls to come alive again. You were created for moments like these, not by chance, not by accident, but by design. Walk forward with courage. Use the gift I have placed in you. Be the one who sees what others cannot see, and love in ways that others dare not love. For there, in the midst of hidden sorrows, in the silent spaces, there is where I want you to be. And it is there that you will see my power shining most brilliantly through you. My beloved child, open your heart and let my words soak into every breath you take, for what I am about to speak will shape this week and perhaps even the future of the souls you are about to encounter. The task I have placed before you may not be acknowledged or celebrated by people, but in my eyes it carries eternal worth. Not every noble work is done from a pulpit or under the spotlight. Some are fulfilled in silence, where you give away unconditional love, where you extend your hand without expecting thanks. where you offer yourself quietly to build something everlasting. This week is not a random sequence of days. Every moment of the next 7 days has been arranged by me with precision and holiness. What seems like chance encounters are in fact appointments set by heaven. The people you will reach are not just individuals living in the present. They are souls who carry destinies impacting families, generations, and even spiritual lineages after them. And you are the one I have sent to shake the unseen walls holding them back. Do not think that your words are insignificant. Do not imagine that your gestures are trivial. Every action done in my name with true love holds the power to redirect the course of a life. You cannot see the full depth of your influence, but I see it. I know exactly where each soul you are about to meet stands. Some are only a single thought away from the abyss. Some need only one word of hope to turn around. Some are at their very end, and you are the final lifeline they can grasp. You are the vessel of mercy I have long prepared. You are not merely a passerby in the lives of others, but one positioned to remain just long enough to sow the seed of life. You are the lighthouse I have raised amid the storm of human existence, so that lost ships may find their way back to shore. And the most important thing is this: the light does not come from you, but from me within you. Therefore do not fear when you feel small, for I am the great one who lives in you. I have placed within you the voice of truth, a necessary echo in this troubled and chaotic age. The world is filled with noise, the noise of deceit, of condemnation, of despair. But your voice, the gentle voice refined in the stillness with me, will resound like fire shining into the darkness. Do not underestimate the quiet power of your words. It is precisely because this world has grown accustomed to clamor and uproar that the peace within you will strike like thunder. Do not be afraid when the truth you speak unsettles those who have long lived in the shadows, for I did not send you to please people but to glorify my name. And remember this: you do not walk alone. Every step you take is upheld by heaven. Every word you speak is guided by the Spirit. Every moment you feel insufficient, myself will be your sufficiency. When you feel lonely, know that I am right beside you. When you feel lost, listen for my whisper. I am going before you, showing you the way and strengthening you. I know you are not one who seeks the crowd. I know you prefer to remain behind the scenes quietly listening. But now I am bringing you into a different place, a place where silence is no longer an option, where you must speak, not out of compulsion, but out of love burning within you. What you carry in your heart is not merely life experience, but the treasure of all the times I have redeemed, healed, and upheld you. And now the time has come for you to share it. Those who hear you may not yet believe in me. They may be angry, disoriented, or in denial of all that belongs to me. But do not retreat because of this. They do not need a sermon, they need someone who truly cares. Someone willing to sit with them in their pain. Someone unafraid to weep with them in their collapse. Someone who does not fear their darkness because the light within is strong enough not to be overcome. And you are the one I have chosen for that very role. My beloved, I speak this not to place a burden upon you, but to remind you of the glory hidden in obedience. For when you walk faithfully, even the smallest act will stir spiritual waves unseen by the human eye. A quiet prayer can rescue a soul from the snares of death. A timely embrace can hold back a heart from breaking apart. A sincere gaze can shatter the iron walls someone has built around their heart for years. Believe that I have already prepared everything. I have prepared the words you will speak. I have arranged the meetings. I have readied the soil of the hearts of those you are about to encounter. All you need to do is walk forward in trust. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be faithful. This week you will not live only for yourself. You will live as one who is sent. You will live as a bearer of fire, of oil, of light. And if you are faithful in what I have called you to, you will see life spring forth from places that seemed long dead. You will see hope rise again in hearts where the flame had been extinguished. And you will see yourself transformed in the very process of helping others. My child, you are my answer to someone's silent prayer. Do not remain silent. Do not delay. Go, love. Believe that I am with you in every step, in every word, in every day. And I, the one who began the good work in you, will bring it to completion in ways no one could have imagined. For I am the Lord your God, the one who sees, the one who knows, and the one who sends you at the right time to the right place, to the right people. Be strong, be obedient. Allow me to use you for wonders, far beyond what you could ever imagine. And then when you look back, you will have no doubt that this week was not just a passing span of time, it was an eternal moment written in heaven, woven by the obedience of an ordinary person carrying an extraordinary mission. You are that person, and the time has come for you to step in. My beloved, be still, and let your heart settle like calm waters before the dawn. For in the midst of life's noise and in the rush of people's demands, there is a voice gentle yet stronger than all that seeks to enter your spirit. It is my voice, the voice of the one who called you out of darkness into light, the one who knows every secret of your heart, the one who loved you even before you knew of your own existence. If you will pause, if you will listen deeply, you will recognize that I am still whispering to you each day. I do not shout, I do not push my way in, yet I never cease to speak. My voice is like the breath of morning, like the dew that falls quietly upon the leaves, like the tender sunlight that brushes against the window of your heart, gentle yet filled with authority. And if you will open your heart, you will see that I am still guiding you step by step along a path no one else can see but me. You do not need to do something grand to prove your worth. I have never required you to be perfect. I do not ask you to build a dazzling image or to walk around with an appearance full of confidence. The only thing I call for is obedience, sincere obedience without embellishment, without calculation, holding nothing back. I'm not calling you to act in your own strength. On the contrary, I invite you to let go of striving in human ability so that you may take hold of the supernatural power from me. For in the very place where you are weakest, I will reveal my strength most clearly. When you have nothing left to boast in, that is when my glory shines the brightest. I will turn the impossible into possibility. I will use your simplicity to bring about extraordinary results that no human eye can measure. You may say, Lord, I am not eloquent. I am clumsy. I don't know how to help others. But remember Moses, who once said that his lips were slow, yet he was the very one I chose to speak to Pharaoh and deliver my people. You may say, I am too weak, I am too afraid. But look at Gideon, who once hid in a winepress, yet I used him as a warrior to defeat a mighty army. You do not need to have everything ready, you only need to be willing. Each morning when you open your eyes, whisper in your heart, Lord, today I am not enough, but you are enough. I do not know the way, but you know. I have no strength, but you are my strength. And when you offer your whole heart as a simple gift to me, I will transform it into the very substance of miracles beyond anyone's imagination. You will not walk alone. I am the one who goes before you, making the path clear. I am the one who walks beside you, lifting you up when you are weary. I am the one who comes behind you, protecting you from what you cannot see. And I am also the one within you, working through every word you speak, every glance you give, every small act of love you offer to others. Do not compare yourself with anyone else. You were never created to be a copy. You are a unique design of heaven, intricately woven for the very role I have set apart for you. You carry a voice that only you can bring, a way of feeling that only you possess, a way of loving that I have engraved especially for you. This world does not need another imitation of someone else. What this world needs is you, a true person walking in my power with genuine steps and a tender heart. I know there will be times when you stumble. There will be moments when you feel so small, so useless. There will even be times when you doubt the very calling I have placed on your life. But my child, every time you fall, I am still there. My eyes never leave you. Even when you feel unworthy, I still call you chosen. I did not choose you because you would never make mistakes. I chose you because I knew that with every fall you would lift your eyes again and continue to walk with hope. And beloved, what I desire to accomplish through your life does not come from extraordinary effort, but from simple surrender. When you allow me to lead, you will witness wonders unfolding in ways you could never imagine. A single simple prayer can open the way for an entire life to be redeemed. One act of kindness can become the key for someone to rediscover their lost hope. And one moment of listening with genuine compassion can mark the beginning of healing. Remember this: what I do through you will go far beyond what you can imagine. The impact of a loving act in my name never ends with just a moment. It ripples outward like circles on the water, reaching beyond time, beyond space, and touching souls you may never even know. I see it, I remember it, and I reward it. So, my dear one, do not let your smallness hinder the greatness I long to accomplish. Do not wait until you feel good enough before you step forward. The greatest preparation does not lie in skill, but in willingness, and that you already have. Now I ask you only this: will you dare to trust me enough to step out today, even without seeing the whole picture, even without knowing every detail? Believe and take the step. Offer each morning to me that I may turn it into a melody of grace. Offer each conversation that I may pour life into it. Offer every tear that I may use it to water seeds of hope in others. And even offer your worries, for I long to replace them with a peace no one can take away. Live each day as one who is called. For you are the one I have chosen. Not tomorrow, not next year, but today, this very week, this very moment. And I, the one who has called you, will also be faithful to complete it. You do not have to strive to be chosen, you are already chosen. Now simply walk in step with my voice in surrender, and you will see things others only dream of. And one day when you look back, you will realize it was in those seemingly ordinary days that I wrote eternal history through the quiet surrender of a heart that chose to listen. And that heart, my child, was yours. My beloved child, when you walk through days that are not easy, there will be times when darkness draws near, not from the outside, but from within. That is when fear begins to whisper in your ear that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that the mission you carry is far too great for you. Doubt will creep into the deepest corners of your mind, covering your vision with a mist that blurs the road ahead. Then weariness will come, silent, quiet, and heavier than stone. It will lay upon your shoulders a weight that feels impossible to remove, making each step sluggish and each breath difficult. And in those moments you will feel lost, as though you are standing alone in the stream of life, as though everything I promised you was only a distant dream. But my child, in those moments when hope seems gone, stop for a while, close your eyes and let your heart grow still. For in the quietest place of your soul you will discover one unchanging truth: I am still there. I do not leave when you doubt. I do not turn away when you tremble. I do not abandon you when you are weary. It is in those very moments of weakness that I draw nearer than ever. Do you remember my promise in Isaiah 4:110? Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Hold on to that word as a rope pulling you out from the abyss of doubt. I am not only standing behind you, urging you forward. I go before you to make a way. Places you have never been, I have already set foot in. The trials you still fear, I have already prepared a way of escape. The things you think you cannot overcome, I have planned to turn into stepping stones that lift you higher. I am the one who never sleeps, who never neglects, who never forgets my promise. And each day, as long as you breathe, is a day I am still working for you and for the purpose I have appointed for your life. Not only do I go before you, but I also walk with you. When you weep and no one understands, I am the one who wipes your tears. When you fall silent because you are too weary to speak, I listen to the voice of your heart. When you do not know how to pray, my spirit intercedes for you with groanings that words cannot express. I am not a distant God. I am Emmanuel, God with you. And my child, the greatest wonder of all is this: I do not merely go before you or walk beside you. I dwell within you. The very breath you carry is a sign of life that comes from me. Your beating heart is sustained by my rhythm. Every stream of thought, every movement, every tear that falls is not outside of my presence. When you walk in faith, it is I walking through you. When you love others, it is my love flowing through you. When you forgive, it is heaven's mercy expressed through your actions. Therefore, do not be deceived by feelings. There will be days when you will not feel my presence. But faith is not built on feelings, it is built on truth. And the truth is this: I will not leave you. Not when you stumble, not when you are weak, not when you fall. My presence does not depend on your emotions, but on the covenant sealed with the very blood of my Son. Perhaps you think, but I am too small. I have nothing of worth. Yet it is in the small and humble that my power shines brightest, as Paul wrote, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." 2 Corinthians 1:2-1-0. True strength does not come from your perfection, but from your surrender. And I, the Almighty, do not require 10,000 talents or great renown, only a willing heart, a heart that trusts. When you begin to walk with the awareness that I am within you, every circumstance ceases to be a hindrance and becomes instead an opportunity for me to reveal my glory through you. When others panic, you will be the one who brings peace. When others despair, you will be the one who sows hope. When others retreat, you will be the one who stands firm, not because you are strong, but because I am strong within you. My child, remain faithful even when you do not understand everything. Take one step at a time, even when the path ahead is darkened. I do not ask you to see the entire journey. I only ask you to take my hand today. And step by step, day by day, I will reveal more, expand your vision, and strengthen your faith. You may be in a season of dryness where your prayers seem to vanish into the silence. But remember this: my silence is not my absence. It is the time when I am working behind the scenes, shaping you, preparing circumstances, deepening the bond between us, so that when the harvest comes, you will not be crushed beneath the very blessings I place in your hands. I am with you. I am walking through your night. I hold your hand in the moments no one else sees. And I will lead you out of that darkness, not only so that you may see the light, but so that you may become a light for others. Believe, stand firm. Remember this, though: the earth may quake and storms may rise. I, the one who created heaven and earth, still hold you in arms that will never let go. And then one day when you look back, you will see that it was precisely in the moments when you thought you were lost, precisely in the hours when you felt that everything was collapsing, that I was laying the strongest foundation of your placed life. For I never abandon the one I have called by name, and you are that one. You are the one I have chosen, the one I love, and the one I keep forever. My beloved child, receive each moment as if it were a pure note composing the melody of your life, a song woven together by the hand of God Himself. Within the tapestry of your calling, every thread that seems fragile carries immeasurable worth, for it is woven from my grace and boundless love. There are moments that appear utterly simple: the gentle smile of a friend who passes by during your hurried journey, the nod of a colleague heavy with understanding as you share your heart, the sudden brightening of a stranger's eyes when you offer them a silent encouragement. These may seem like fleeting fragments that brush past your memory, but I tell you this: nothing is accidental, nothing is trivial when I am at work. For the light I pour through you, even if only for a moment, can ignite sparks of hope in hearts that thought their flame had died. Your actions, no matter how small, carry the weight of eternity. When you yield to the quiet urging, when you open your mouth to speak the honest words I place within you, that is the moment I lay the groundwork for changes far beyond your sight. Do not hesitate when you feel that your words are few, for I do not demand eloquence. I only desire that you speak with trust and truth. And when I nudge you to listen, stop and turn toward the one before you with your whole attention, so that their soul no longer cries unheard in loneliness. Do not overlook a hand on the shoulder, an embrace, or a gaze of shared understanding, for sometimes it is your very presence offered wholly that becomes the only medicine strong enough to heal a weary heart. Love without hesitation, like a bird spreading its wings across the sky, unafraid of losing even a single feather. Let that love reach the souls who shrink back in fear, those who believe no one cares for them anymore. Forgive freely, like a stream flowing over dry stones, carrying away the fragments of the past, so that those entangled in hatred and resentment may be set free. When you give generously. A smile, a word of praise, a song of encouragement. Even just a few simple words can warm a heart and help it take the next step forward. And when you walk, walk with courage like a warrior confident in the armor they carry. Do not fear when you encounter the shadows of others, for it is my light shining through you that will scatter the unending fog. You may not see the road ahead, but remember I have already gone before you, preparing the way. Every step you take is upheld by my sovereign hand, and blessings will pour down like spring rain, refreshing a barren field. Trust in what I am doing through your life, even when you cannot yet see the results. Perhaps today only one small soul notices the kindness in you, but thousands of unseen spirits are watching each act, each word you speak. It is precisely these ordinary moments that create a movement powerful enough to ripple through space and time, reaching into the deepest realms of eternity. Hear me, my beloved. I do not need you to accomplish great things in the eyes of the world. I only ask that you remain attentive to the call of my love. I only ask that you accept the humble place you consider lowly, for in that very humility I will reveal my greatness. Every word you speak at, my prompting every ear you lend, when I urge every act of love and mercy, will be sealed with eternity's mark upon the divine timeline. And when you grow weary, when worries surround you, when doubts flare within, look back at the moments you obeyed with a sincere heart. Remind yourself of the times I showed my power, healed wounds, and brought light into the darkness. Those days are the proof that you are never walking alone. My child, continue weaving the tapestry of covenant with me day by day, with its unexpected turns, its low notes and high notes, with stretches of stillness and surges of fierce hope. Do not hesitate when I place a word upon your heart, an unshakable impulse within you. Simply obey, and I will do the rest, transforming those seemingly ordinary moments into doors that open onto eternity. Let my light and my love shine through you so that every dark corner of another's heart may be illuminated. Let yourself become my witness, not through loud proclamations, but through the small heart that dares to rise beyond its own limits. Every step you take will carry the imprint of blessing. Every word you speak will echo in the sacred space of eternity, and every breath you draw will become a hymn of my grace, an immortal song that will never fade. So then walk on, my beloved child, in complete obedience. Let those ordinary moments be transformed into the extraordinary in eternity. And when you look back, you will see that your very life has been the most wondrous story I have ever told. A story of faith, of love, of a powerful transformation rising out of what seemed the smallest of things. You are not merely living for today, but shaping eternity through each step you bravely take in obedience to the call of God. My beloved child, as you journey beneath my light and guidance, there will be passing figures who brush against your life without speaking a word, though their hearts are crying out in silence. They do not lift their hands to ask for help, nor shout to demand attention, yet deep within they groan under an invisible weight. Open the eyes of your heart to perceive their fragile signals, the fleeting glance of one who believes no one notices, the subtle bend of shoulders pressed down by hidden burdens, the hesitant steps that linger at the edge of the path, as though searching for a sign to continue or hoping someone might recognize their weariness. I send you to them as a quiet watcher, not to judge, not to doubt, but to carry the longing to soothe and to heal. Walk toward them not only with bare feet, but with the heart of grace I have folded into your own. When you stand beside them, pausing amid the smoke of sorrow, place your hand upon their shoulder, as you would set your foot upon holy ground. Let your voice stir their hearts with words unadorned, tender and true. No fine speeches are needed, only the simple assurance I am here. That alone can melt the ice that has frozen their soul. And when you sit beside them, do not rush to answer. Simply listen. Listen to their breathing, to the rhythm of their heart, to the heavy silences where grief and longing dwell. Let every sense of yours become a mirror of my heart, so that each glance, each gesture, each gentle touch may echo my own comfort as cool waters running over dry stone, refreshing the hidden roots of a smile. Just budding an eye, just rekindled, a hope reborn. My call to you is not in clamor, but in the steady beat of the heart of God flowing through you like a river, soft and strong, all at once sweeping away the remnants of sorrow, the shards of despair. Allow my mercy to pour forth through you in its most natural form. not forced, not weighed with calculation, for your sincerity alone will break the proud walls of ice and open the gates for grace to enter every hidden chamber of the rever soul. You are not merely one who extends a hand, you are my very hands. Not merely one who speaks, but my very voice. Not merely a refuge, but the safe dwelling place I have prepared for every soul wandering lost in the barren wilderness. Let your presence speak for itself, that they are not walking alone, that a light pierces through the darkness, that a gentle whisper soothes them. I will not forsake you. Let your eyes affirm I see you. Let your smile confirm I understand you. Let your hands declare I will remain with you. And when you see hope flicker within them, you will realize it is not your own effort, but my miracle working through you. Be a refuge for the lost, a harbor for weary souls, a shelter for lonely hearts. And as you pour out love, you will receive it in abundance like the eternal vessel of nourishment I have placed within you. For I do not compel by power, but persuade by grace. I do not demand that you do everything, but invite you to share the burden through faith. I do not expect perfection from you. I only ask for willingness. With every step you take toward those restless hearts, with every moment you give to listen and to understand, you are standing in the very place where I am preparing an overflow of grace. Let the boundaries between you and them dissolve so that in that sacred instant there is no giver and no receiver, but only love that binds two souls together. And when you depart, you will not know how many lives have been saved. You will only know that I have used you to write a new story for them, a story of compassion, of hope, of boundless love. This is the eternal mission I entrust to you, so that you may understand no one passes through your life without meaning, and every soul you touch is a testament to the everlasting mercy of God. My beloved, listen to what I say. The things you do in silence are most cherished by me. Every hidden prayer, every quiet gesture of love, every tear you shed in prayer, none of these are ever forgotten. I promise you that in the secret place where you think no one sees, I am recording every act of devotion, every moment of obedience, every longing you place into my hands. And when the appointed time comes, I will draw from the treasury of heaven's glory to reward your labors before the host of angels. Never count the eyes of the world, for the glory I bestow surpasses all human praise. It will be engraved forever on the eternal scroll of history, resounding endlessly in the story of my kingdom. My child, there will be seasons when you must sow in tears, nights when you stay awake, weeping out of worry, lifting up prayers in the midst of unease. Yet I assure you that every sacrifice will ripen into a harvest overflowing with joy. When you see a smile bloom on someone's face because you encourage them, when you witness a soul once hopeless now singing a song of hope, you will realize that your tears were not shed in vain but became living water for new life. It is in the very moments when you feel most exhausted that the seeds of faith take root deep within the soil of hearts you have touched, sprouting into an unspeakable joy. I know there are times when you quietly question yourself, is all my labor truly worth it? Does anyone even remember me? Will I ever see the fruit of my efforts? But I declare to you that every step you take in obedience is never meaningless. Every prayer whispered in weakness, every moment you choose to let go and trust me, instead of striving on your own, all of it is laying the foundation of my kingdom upon the ordinary soil of daily life. You may not yet see the radiant harvest, but I have already seen the seeds you planted long ago. It is I who cause them to grow, I who tend to each tender shoot, and when my appointed day comes, I will make the entire field burst forth in endless green shimmering beneath the new sunlight of grace. The work I entrust to you is not simple. It will stretch your heart, pulling you beyond the safe walls you sometimes build around yourself for protection. It will lead you into layers of trial, times when patience runs dry at the edges of exhaustion, times when the love you offer is judged, misunderstood, or even met with indifference, times when the faith you cling to wavers under storms of doubt and the weariness that lingers. Yet I do not send you into this battle to collapse, but so you may discover my hand lifting you with every step. Only through trial will you uncover the extraordinary endurance hidden within your heart. Only through the sea of sorrow will you awaken a love stronger than words. And only through the tempest will your faith rise like a pine upon the cliff, steadfast and shining brighter than ever before. And do not forget that I placed within you from the very beginning the essential parts of who you are, the gifts, the longings, the hidden capacities for you to use in this very day. When you think you are standing alone in the midst of storms, remember the graces I have poured out upon you. When you feel too weary to keep running, remember that it is I who am pouring into your heart a stream of inexhaustible energy. The work I have placed upon your shoulders is not meant to confine your smallness, but to honor your obedience. And through every door you open, even if it is only the door of one soul, one life, a new world will unfold, a new harvest will begin. So continue to sow seeds, whether under heavy rains or in times of drought. Sow even in tears, for in those tears lies the downpour of grace that will refresh the barren field. Stretch out your hand to grasp another's even when you yourself are faltering. Lift up your prayers in the quiet of night, for it is in the depths of darkness that my light from on high shines forth most powerfully. And each time you face a trial, each time you step into the unknown, open the eyes of your spirit to see the seeds you have planted stretch wide, your arms to embrace the harvest that is coming, and raise high the lamp of faith to light the freight path for others to follow. What you do in secret will shine openly. What you sow in sorrow will blossom into joy. The very hardships, the trials, and even the moments you thought you had fallen are all contributing to the great work I am building. A work untouched by time, unshaken by any storm, and forever radiating the fragrance of grace for generations. To come. Do not doubt the worth of each step you take, each prayer you whisper, each tear you shed. Trust that I have set a flame in your heart so that you may be a torch that never goes out. And it is precisely in the moments of your greatest weakness that my radiant power will shine forth, turning every difficulty into a solid foundation, transforming every tear into an endless well of hope. Therefore, keep moving forward, my beloved, with steadfast courage and wholehearted obedience. Let every sacrifice, every pain become the seed of the magnificent life I am shaping. And when the joyful harvest comes in abundance, you will raise the song of victory with me, praising the work of redemption and the boundless love that only God can give to those who obey and trust completely. My beloved child, when you feel loneliness, like a thick curtain shutting you away from the warmth of light, remember that I never leave you, not even for a single breath. I am always present in every beat of your heart, in every breeze that brushes through your hair, in every tender ray of dawn that touches the corner of your eyes. And even when you do not feel me, I am still there, upholding you with the unchanging love of the one who called you out of the abyss of solitude. When you are crushed beneath the barren voices whispering in your ears that you are unworthy, too weak, too sinful, too full of mistakes, recall that I named you from the beginning of the world. I called you by your true name, not failure, not unwanted, but my beloved child. That very name carries within it an eternal worth. No matter how many times you stumble, no matter how often you have buried your dignity in long nights of sorrow, my name still declares you, chosen, cherished by a love that asks for nothing in return, a love that does not demand you be perfect, to be worthy. And when the weight on your shoulders feels like invisible stones pressing you down, when responsibilities, sorrows, or the expectations of others fill your heart with strain, remember that I, the creator of the universe, hold all things in my phrase. Hands from the rhythm of the stars to the fall of every leaf, from the crashing of ocean waves to the gentle flow of a stream, nothing lies beyond my power, and I will never abandon you to bear a burden too great for your strength. I invite you to pause amid the rush of life, to place these cares into my hands, and to rest in my tender embrace, so that you may draw from the inexhaustible strength of grace that flows from me. Allow me to renew you when you are exhausted, when your soul is numb from weariness, when your heart is unsettled and restless. I will anoint your head with fresh oil, as I have spoken in Scripture. Only those who are weary will I give new strength. In my arms you will be restored, lifted from the depths of despair into a fierce and living hope. Let me guide you when you feel lost, when you do not know which path to take, when you struggle through the maze of choices and decisions. I will shine before you like the morning star in the night, not leaving you to grope in the darkness, but opening the right way, leading you into peace. And do not mistake my silence for absence, for I am never silent. Even now, in this sacred moment, I am whispering to your soul, gently touching the hidden corners within you, filling you with a peace beyond all measure, a peace the world cannot give, a peace like a cool spring flowing through a barren desert, reviving withered branches and making flowers bloom in the garden of your heart you once thought was lifeless. Can you feel the warmth of my love enveloping you? It is not a fleeting sensation that comes and goes, but a steady state of being, a shelter you may find whenever the storms of life press in. Let this presence become the unshakable foundation of your soul, an inexhaustible source of strength that empowers you to run with all your heart on the path of faith, a refuge to which you may always return whenever you grow weary. And when you touch the depths of my mercy, you will be able to share it with others, passing it on to those who thirst for hope, to those drifting in the shadows of loneliness, to those whose hearts ache in the midnight of despair through the woes. Very peace I have entrusted to you. Do not forget, you are not the creator of that peace, but the bearer of it, the lamp I have set upon a stand, that its light may never be extinguished, that the voice declaring, I will not abandon you, may echo to the ends of the earth. So close your eyes for a moment, breathe deeply, and listen. I am speaking to you. I am walking beside you. I am giving you strength, gifts, and hope. I will not leave you alone. I will not let you lose your way. I will not let you collapse beneath the surging waves. All I ask is that you trust me, that you stretch out your hand to take mine. I will lift you up not only to overcome this trial, but to lead you toward greater heights of faith and love. Step forward, my beloved, with a heart full of trust and eyes fixed on me. You will no longer be lonely, no longer weak, no longer lost. For I, the Eternal One, am with you right now and for every day that follows. My beloved, let these words be etched deep into your soul. You were never created to settle for comfort within the wide yet dangerous safety of complacency. The Creator fashioned you with a courageous heart, a frame brimming with life, and a sacred flame that can never be extinguished. From the very beginning, you were filled with the power of the Spirit, so that you may step into life unafraid, with feet that carry the stride of a warrior, with lips that proclaim an unshakable truth, and with hands open to receive the blessings I have prepared. You were made to shine like the dawn that drives away the night, to let your voice resound like a bell that awakens souls still slumbering in dark dreams. You were made to enter this life not as one who shrinks into the shadows, but as one who lifts a banner high against the wind, raising aloft a steadfast faith upon the high places. If you have ever thought that faith is only for the weak who seek a refuge, then I will show you the opposite. A strong faith is the shield that protects you, the torch that lights your path, the battle cry of the victor against the raging storm. When you take hold of the power, I grant you walk through every trial with calmness and dignity, not because you trust in yourself, but because you trust in the Almighty, the one who clothes you in the robe of righteousness and crowns you with imperishable glory. Remember that today I do not give you ease, nor days of idle rest without purpose. I give you the authority of an honorable shepherd, that you may lead the flock through green pastures, that you may guide lost souls across the barren wilderness toward the waters of life. I have placed within your heart a noble responsibility, not only to live for yourself, but to be a messenger of hope, a hand that lifts the weary, a voice that brings peace to hearts torn with anguish. Therefore, do not let compromise or guilt bind you in weakness and decay. Do not let hesitation or doubt hinder your steps from the path I have set before you. In the power I give you, are not only able to withstand the storm, but also to command the winds and waves to be still. You are not only able to resist the forces of darkness, but also to shine the light of truth into the deepest reaches of night. You are not only able to say yes to words of praise, but also to say no to sin, to deceit, to everything that seeks to invade your heart. You are not merely a follower. You are a leader, a foundation layer, an opener of the gates of grace for all who walk after you. Let your perseverance touch those who are exhausted in the race of life, bringing them out of the valley of despair and setting them upon the mountain of hope. Let your courage become the shield for the lonely, the firm shoulder for those who collapse under pressure, the warmth for those shivering in the cold of doubt. Let my power flow through every word you speak, every gesture you make, every glance you cast, so that whoever meets you may recognize that a supernatural strength walks with you. This is the time for you to rise, not because you are greater than others, but because you are called to embody the very summit of God's will, to stand as a living symbol of eternal vitality. This is the moment to step forth in the authority I have engraved within you, the authority to shatter the chains of fear, to open the prisons of despair, to turn tears into songs of triumph. Answer this call with fierce determination. Offer your whole heart with a burning desire to serve and walk with the bearing of a victor, knowing that I am with you and I will never let you go. And as you move forward, you will realize that your life is not merely your own story, but an inseparable part of my great plan of redemption. You are not just a passerby in this world, but an eternal spark, an echo that never fades, a seal that bears the name of God's grace. Let your footsteps be engraved in the heart of humanity, so that wherever you pause, my love may be spread. Wherever you lay, your hand wounds may be healed. Wherever you raise your voice, darkness may be overcome. For you were created not merely to exist, but to blaze forth in power, to live fully in the light, to never accept mediocrity. You were created to fulfill humanity's eternal longing for an undying hope, for a light that never goes out, for a love that transcends all reason. Now rise not with a single step, but with thousands of steps, as a conqueror, a builder, a leader, a bearer of a sacred mission. Lift up this declaration: I am not timid, I am a child of the Almighty. I am not fearful, I am one set aflame by faith. I am not insignificant, I am the candle that lights the way for many souls. I am not alone, I am part of the army that carries grace to the nations. And from that moment, you will no longer walk in the shadows of doubt, but you will advance along the holy path, surrounded by the songs of victory, the radiance of hope, and the warmth of eternal love. Therefore rise up, my beloved, and proclaim the power I have entrusted to you, the power of life, of healing, of resurrection, of love that never fades. Step forth so that the world may see you are not ordinary, but a living witness to the glorious message of God. But my child, never compare yourself to anyone else. Every person in my kingdom has been placed in a unique position with a mission given solely to them, and your mission is not a copy of another's. The moment you glance to the left or turn to the right, you will stumble upon the silent sword of jealousy and doubt. You will see others appear more prominent, more gifted, more successful, and little by little you will forget the word I have spoken. Before I formed you, I knew you. I appointed you and placed you here. Jeremiah 1:5. You were not created to chase achievements, but to conquer the realm I have given to you. Do not use the world's measure to determine the worth of your work. At times you will see others accomplish great and resounding deeds, praised and spoken of everywhere. You may ask yourself, is my effort too insignificant? Is what I am doing not groundbreaking enough? Has he forgotten me? Yet I tell you, it is I who have entrusted to you a sacred portion of work, a task no one else can fulfill. Perhaps that work is nothing more than an introduction, a word of encouragement, a comforting embrace, or a moment of silence to listen things the world deems too small to matter. But in my hands they carry a power that builds into eternity. I have placed in your hands a gift, a holy responsibility, one I have entrusted with full confidence. You alone carry within you the unique blend of ability, experience, and compassion required for this part of the mission. Be faithful to what I have given you. Do not be distracted by the achievements of others, nor let the applause of society deceive you into forgetting the true source of strength. You may grow weary, you may feel drained, but do not cease in your faithfulness. Every step you take in obedience is a brick laid in the foundation of my kingdom. Fix your eyes on me. Do not glance to the sides of the narrow road lined with temptations. When your gaze rests upon mine, you will see every burden of your life lifted gently away. Trust me to take care of the vast work you cannot see, the events beyond your control, the things I am working out in silence, preparing for a great harvest ahead. You need not carry the weight of everything. Let me bear the heavier load while you focus only on doing your part with zeal and faith. Even if the beginning feels difficult, even if discouragement creeps in, do not let the shadows of despair consume your mind. When a trembling yes escapes your lips, remember that sound is more precious to me than any melody. That yes, though uncertain, holds power in my hands, not because of the force of your words, but because your heart is willing to bow and surrender. Each time you answer yes to me, it marks a trace of faith written in the eternal book. So continue in faithfulness. Walk with courage and confidence, for you do not walk alone. I am guiding, I am shielding, I am lifting you beyond every hindrance. Be the one who keeps promises in silence, who nurtures hope in others through simple acts, who bears witness to the unfailing love of God. Do not compare yourself with others. Do not waver at the sight of their achievements. Trust in the mission I have given you and let me complete the rest. You were created to live fully, radiantly, and in the abundance of power, so walk in that great joy, for I delight in your yes. My beloved child, in this noisy world, so many hearts are longing to be seen and understood. Yet they do not cry out. They only lift their brows in quiet hope, waiting for the discerning gaze of someone sensitive enough to recognize the silent signs: an averted glance, a fragile smile that fails to reach the heart, a trembling, "I'm fine," uttered from quivering lips. Do not stop at their words, listen instead to the rhythm of their hearts, for within lies restrained longing, wounds yet to be healed, and the fragile remnants of a faith grown dim. My spirit will be your support, like the spring breeze carrying life's breath across distant waters. He will urge you forward, even when hesitation grips you. You will know the moment has come, when the inner call surges powerfully within you, when your soul trembles at another's hidden need. Let words of life burst forth like a stream breaking free from parched stone to wash away despair and sow seeds of hope in barren ground. Remind them that my love is no theory, but a living reality revealed in every gesture of yours. You are loved, you will say, and you are not alone, you will whisper. These words, soft as silk, hold power to dissolve scars buried deep in the heart, wide enough to embrace a faltering world. Do not rely on words alone. Let your very presence bear witness to my power. A tender gaze resting on their shoulder, a warm hand clasped in theirs, a whispered prayer at a bedside. Each can become an open door for grace to flow, each a spark to awaken trust long asleep. Be patient with their journey, for not every wound heals swiftly, nor every doubt vanishes after a single exchange. Like a sower, you must wait, water, and tend the garden of the heart without haste or pressure. Do not let eagerness blind you to the miracle that blossoms in silence. Even when you do not yet see flowers unfurl or fruit, ripen trust that I am at work. Every step you take, every word you speak, is recorded in heaven's book of gratitude. When the appointed time arrives, you will share with me in the abundant harvest, hearts, redeemed souls, revived lives, rekindled with hope. So, my child, open your heart to the silent cries of those living among you. Persist in watching closely, listening deeply, speaking words that heal, and letting my spirit guide your steps. You will not be disappointed, for I will fulfill my part through you, for all who place their trust in me. Walk in peace, for that very peace will flow through you and spread to every corner. Believe, love, and wait, and let me reveal myself through your life. You are the channel of grace I have chosen, pouring refreshment into the desert, scattering seeds of hope and opening a new dawn for those who have long awaited a miracle. My beloved child, pause for a moment and set aside everything that is occupying your mind right now, for in this very stillness, I, the Creator of all things, the Father full of mercy, am bending down to speak with you. Not through the resounding echoes of the heavens, nor through the thunder's mighty roar, nor through the crashing waves of the ocean, but through a gentle breath within your spirit, through a holy whisper that pierces every barrier between heaven and the human heart. It is in this silence that I reveal the hidden ache within my own heart, a sorrow not born from any lack in me, but from the love I carry for my children, who still wander lost in the shadows of deception. My child, my heart is heavy for the countless souls I have fashioned so wondrously, those whom I named before the dawn of creation, those whom I loved, even as they rested in their mother's womb, yet now they are astray. They do not know who I am, they live as if I do not exist. They turn their backs on the very source of life, the very root of their souls. They walk this world, searching for a place to belong, for something that could fill the invisible emptiness within their hearts, but the farther they go, the more confused they become. The more they open their hearts to the world, the deeper the world carves wounds into them, wounds no human hand can heal. These children, even if they have never spoken my name, even if they deny my presence, are still precious creations in my hands. I formed each one in the secret place of the womb. I have numbered every day of their lives. I have whispered their names in the breath of heaven. None of them is an accident. None is the blind product of fate. Each one is a masterpiece, painted by my boundless love. Yet they do not know this. Their eyes have never been illuminated by the light from my throne. Their hearts have never beat in rhythm with the pulse of heaven. Their ears have never heard my call, the call, as gentle as the morning breeze, yet as persistent as the bell of salvation ringing across a barren desert. They walk without knowing where they are going. They run without knowing what pursues them. They long for love, but seek it in places where only wounds await, in places where desire replaces sincerity, where control masquerades as care, where exploitation wears the mask of kindness. They give their hearts wholly to toxic bonds, to empty promises, and then force a smile to carry on even as their souls fracture more and more. They build their lives upon sand, the sand of fame, wealth, beauty, status, and pleasure, all things that shimmer for a moment, then vanish like smoke scattered by the wind. They imagine that if only they had enough money, they would find peace. They believe that if they achieved success, they would finally feel loved. They think that if their appearance were captivating enough, if their lifestyle were wild enough, they would no longer be alone. Yet when night falls, when the music fades, when the stage lights go dark, they must face a truth no one dares to name: their souls are empty. My child, that emptiness is a space that only I can fill. No one else, nothing else, no human achievement can ever replace my presence in their hearts. And for this reason I am calling you the child I have trusted, prepared, and poured out my love upon to become the one who carries the light to them. You do not need to speak lofty words. You do not need to bear every burden. I only ask you to be present, to love, to open your heart. It is I who will act through you. When you come with a gentle gaze and a tender heart, they will feel me. When you listen without judgment, when you pray without rushing, when you remain with them, even without giving any concrete answer, they will know that I am real. I do not ask you to change them at once. I only ask you to plant a seed, the seed of hope, of acceptance, of unconditional love. The rest I myself will do. And remember, great transformation always begins with the smallest of acts. A timely embrace, a sincere word of concern, a hand held when someone is collapsing, all of these are sacred acts when done in my name. You cannot know how many souls have been saved by a gentle word spoken at the right time, or by one person simply refusing to turn away. Be attentive, my beloved. Do not overlook the averted eyes, the unusual silences, the subtle signs of a heart crying out in secret. My spirit will show you who is in need of a word of affirmation, of unconditional presence, of a spark of hope in the storm. Do not underestimate the power of saying, "I see you." For sometimes that single phrase is what keeps someone holding on to life. And when you are weary, when you feel you are not enough, return to me. Let me fill you again with new strength. Let me remind you that you do not act alone, do not walk alone, do not love alone. You are the channel of a flow that comes from heaven. That flow will never run dry if you remain connected to me. So keep on loving, keep on listening, keep on being present. Even if you do not yet see results, even if no word of thanks is spoken, even if they have not turned back, still, you must sow, for I am the one who makes the seed grow. One day you will look back and see that everything you did out of love was remembered, multiplied, and woven into the glorious story of redemption that I am writing. Therefore be steadfast, be faithful, and let me, the God of mercy, reveal myself through every breath, every step, every word, and every deed of yours, for I am still seeking the children I created in love, and I am sending you to tell them the Father is still waiting. My beloved child, open your eyes and look deeply into the world around you, not with the eyes of flesh, but with the piercing vision of mercy. For all around you, countless souls are withering away day by day. It is not their bodies that collapse, but their spirits that slowly shrivel, lose their way, and take quiet, unnoticed steps toward eternity without even realizing it. They journey without knowing their destination. They live without knowing why. They breathe each day, yet their spirits are locked in darkness, numb and unfeeling toward the sacred. Some have rejected my name not because they are hardened, but because the image of me in their eyes has been twisted through the lens of pain and falsehood. They do not see a God of compassion, but only a figure painted with the bitterness of the world. They have heard my name shouted in wars, in condemnation, in accusations and judgment. My name has been used to justify hatred, to mask pride, and to enforce division, and so they turn away. My child, somewhere there are those who once cried out to me in desperation, but received only silence from those who claimed to be my people. When they trembled in fear, no one reached out to steady them. When they wept in darkness, no one brought them light. They sought the church, they sought my children, but found only heartless doctrines, distant eyes, and cold indifference. And so they concluded, if this is the people of God, then surely God himself must be just as cold and distant. There are souls whom the world has taught they are unworthy of love. They have been judged, rejected, and despised until they believe they themselves are detestable. And then they project that belief onto me, convinced that I too would reject them as everyone else has. They cannot believe that there is one who fully accepts them, who loves them unconditionally, who sees their worth amid all their brokenness. And my child, there are still others who have never heard a single word of truth. Not because they are stubborn, but simply because no one has gone, no one has spoken, no one has dared to step into that dark land carrying the light of heaven. That is why I call you. Not because you are perfect, not because your words are eloquent, but because you are willing, because your heart still trembles when you see the pain of others, because mercy within you has not yet been frozen by the busyness of life. I need you to speak. Tell them that I am not the distorted image they once saw. I am not the God of cold judgment, blind hatred, or forsaking silence. I am the Father, the one who always takes the first step in love. The one who wept at Lazarus's death, who stooped to wash the feet of his betrayer, who opened his heart to forgive those who nailed him to the cross. Tell them that my grace is greater than even the darkest past, that no one is too far gone to return, no one is too defiled to be made clean, no one is beyond the reach of divine love. Show them through your very life that there is another way, a way that does not lead to emptiness, but to life. A way not bound by rigid laws, but open through mercy. A way not weighed down by condemnation, but overflowing with forgiveness. And do not merely speak with your lips. Intercede for them with tears. Cry out to heaven on their behalf when they do not know how to pray. Fight on your knees while they still wander in darkness. For the prayer of the righteous is powerful and effective, James 5:1-6. You will never truly know how your quiet prayers may hold someone back from the edge. Perhaps today they are ready to give up, ready to end it all. But in that very moment, your intercession is brought before my throne, and I send forth my angels. I calm their hearts. I kindle hope again from even the smallest spark. Therefore, do not despise your presence. Do not think your voice too small. Do not think your prayers too weak. For when you stand under the leading of the Holy Spirit, even the smallest act carries the weight of heaven's power. Be the one to remind them they are not forgotten. Be my arms embracing broken souls. Be the voice crying out in the wilderness, declaring that there is a God who still waits, still loves, still calls each one by name. You do not need to change the whole world. You only need to change the world of one person, and from that one the light will spread. Like a fire spreading in the night, the flame of a surrendered heart can blaze into a wind of revival. So begin today. Open your heart, speak, point the way, and intercede. For each soul is waiting to hear the truth. Each soul is longing to be loved rightly. Each soul is waiting for someone to tell them there is still hope. And you are the very one I have chosen to declare it, my beloved child. Today I look upon you with both pride and deep compassion. You have walked through storms you never foresaw, battled with the darkness at the farthest corners of your soul, and yet, like a tender shoot rising boldly from barren stone, you have tasted the outpouring of my grace. I have seen your tears mingle with countless fervent prayers, and I have answered with my sustaining hand with the warmth of unending love. You have witnessed my faithfulness proven through every promise that has never failed. Each time you miscounted your steps, each time you lost your way, there was always a hand drawing you back. You felt your heart tremble, heard the gentle whisper guiding you. That was me saying, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." My strange and wondrous light pierced through the veil of doubt, dispelling the shadows of confusion, and you stepped out in awe before a brand new horizon. You are not perfect. You carry wounds of the past, the weight of mistakes, the lingering scent of sins that once made you feel unworthy. But I have paid the price to redeem you from those stains through the blood my Son shed on the cross, so that you may be free. You stand without blemish before heaven, not because you deserve it, but because my mercy rises higher than every law. I lifted you from the mire. I washed you in grace. I exalted you with unconditional love. Yet the grace you have received was never meant for you to hide away in comfort. The gift I gave must overflow. The holy fire I placed in your heart was never intended merely to keep your life warm, but to bring warmth to other cold souls. I loved you so deeply that this love must pour forth like a mighty river that cannot be contained in a small pond. It must rush into the wide sea. I long for my love to burst within you, so that you may share it with those who have never tasted the true flavor of love. You are not only the beloved child within my house, you are also a messenger carrying the good news of the kingdom. You are an ambassador of heaven in a world filled with deceit. When you step outside, each step bears the authority of my throne. Each word you speak can become a torch to guide the lost. You are entrusted with the message of truth, the very message the world drowning in darkness and lies so desperately needs. Remember that you bear a noble responsibility, not to impose, not to judge, but to shine like a lamp on its stand, casting light into every hidden corner. When you live with transparency, when you give love without limit, when you endure suffering without losing hope, the world will see reflected in you the very image of God, not one who judges in anger nor punishes with cold indifference, but one who always draws near with mercy and renewal. In every conversation, let your words rise as a hymn of love. Do not hesitate to share your own story, the times you fell, the times I lifted you. For it is not the force of your words that matters most, but the authenticity of your experience. When you put aside pride and open your heart to share your wounds, you tell others that they are not alone, that they are not mistakes to be condemned, but children pursued by God Himself with unrelenting love. Take my prayer as a sharp spear piercing straight into the darkness of fear and doubt. Do not let the worries of daily life steal away the longing to connect with heaven. Each prayer of mine is an echo reaching your throne, and you will answer with supernatural strength and divine intervention. I cannot see the whole picture, and that is why I must trust in your Spirit. He will guide me in each small step, breathe the right thought into me at the right time, renew my strength when I am weary, and teach me how to hold the sail of faith to cross the storms of life. And when I feel exhausted, let me rest in your arms. Do not let me struggle in the weakness of the flesh, for the true source of power lies in you. When I open my eyes in the quiet of dawn, take a deep breath and remind my heart, you are the one who restores my soul. Then I will step out carrying the fresh strength that you have given. Let me be faithful to the work you have entrusted to me. Do not allow me to be swept away by the achievements of others, but let me focus on doing well my own portion, whether it is a word of encouragement, a smile, or a moment of quiet listening. These seemingly small acts may be the very things that change a life. My child, live as one who has been rescued from the fire of hatred, from the long night of despair, from the abyss of hopelessness. Let your soul rise above the storm, for I have kept you steadfast. And as you experience my light, let the world see that the love of God is truth itself, an endless fountain, an eternal hope in the midst of a world so often chaotic and deceitful. So ignite the flame within you, my messenger. Lift your song like a bell of awakening, for those still slumbering in illusion. Go forth with courage, for I, the one who has sent you, am with you, now and forever. Step forward so that together we may complete the great work I have begun in you. My beloved, I am stirring a new stream of life deep within your soul, for I long that you not only understand my words, but also experience the fullness of what I feel. I want your heart to tremble with the pain of those who are lost, and to break with mine at the poverty of love in this world. When your spiritual eyes are opened, you will see the faces of lonely souls wandering in the darkness, hearts hardened by life's storms, and those who have forgotten that they were created in the very image of God. I do not ask you to keep a ledger of sins, but only that you allow compassion to awaken within your heart. Let that compassion flow through your tears, through your warm prayers, and through every gentle embrace. When you weep over another's disappointment, I, myself, will wash and soothe their wounds with my grace. And when you stand beside them, refusing to abandon them in the storm, you are bearing witness to my presence and to my boundless love. The world today is saturated with noise voices of argument, of slander, of restless ambition and striving. Yet it is precisely in this atmosphere of confusion that truth, when spoken in love, can pierce through and reach a longing heart. You may feel your heart pounding as you step forward, even if your words stumble, even if you do not feel eloquent before the crowd. But I do not require perfection from you. I only ask for obedience. All I ask is that you dare to speak, even if only in the simplest whisper, so long as it rises out of faith and love. When you step out of your comfort zone, when you force yourself to push past distraction and hesitation, that is the very moment I will speak through your lips. I will place words into your mouth, filling every gap with heavenly power and wisdom. You need not fear that your message is too thin or your sermon too short, for I myself am the living word, and I will deliver the message of salvation through you. And when you act in love, I will move through you like a stream that nourishes and awakens seeds. Each time you reach out to lift the fallen, each time you accept the wandering, each time you choose forgiveness instead of condemnation, it is my power being revealed through you. The world will see the mark of God not in restless displays of miracles, but in tangible acts, in your cleaning up the fragments of another's broken life, in your kindling of hope, in the hopeless, and in your bringing peace to hearts that have grown weary. Be patient with this process, for I do not rush you to reap too quickly. Spring winds do not hasten the blossoms, but gently nurture each bud until it becomes a fragrant bloom. So it is with you, though the results may not appear before your eyes, do not let your spirit grow weary. Every word you speak, every soul you touch, every silent prayer you offer, all of these are threads being woven into the story of redemption, a story that only I can bring to completion. My child, you are not alone on this noble journey. I, the eternal sovereign, am still standing beside you. I have spoken strength into you, spoken wisdom into you, spoken a love that nothing can hinder. You need only open your heart in obedience and be ready to utter your yes the moment I say, speak, go, love. And then I will do the rest. I will breathe the fire of revival through every breath you take. I will make each step you walk leave behind blessings along the path of life, and I will cause the light within you to shine into the darkest places. So my child, be courageous and move forward. Guard the flame I have placed in your heart and give it the chance to blaze forth in brilliance. Trials only make the fire burn brighter. Darkness only makes your light stand out more. Let me awaken in the depths of your soul compassion, obedience, and a longing to lead others out of the shadows. You will see that through your compassion and your faith, the forgotten will receive hope, and the world will come to know that there is one who still loves ceaselessly, one who has spoken through you. I have come so that those who thirst for life may have life. My beloved child, my gospel is so simple that those who seek complexity are overwhelmed by its very simplicity. The gospel is not found in countless chains of obligation, not hidden in rigid rules, not reserved for outward rituals. The gospel does not come to control humanity through fear or to emphasize shame over past sins, but simply this: I love them. My love is not a distant idea, but the most concrete of actions. I died for them. I bore pain in their place. I carried their sins. I rose again, defeating death to free them from the chains of ruin. I am alive not merely as a story of the past, but as the present breath, longing for them to enter my embrace and live with me forever. This message is simple, but do not mistake its simplicity for weakness. No culture is strong enough to conceal it. No language barrier can block it. No matter what continent you stand on, what tongue you sing, the gospel in what generation you belong to, or what circumstances you face, the gospel shines like a lighthouse that never dims for a moment. It reaches the hardest of hearts, causing even the driest souls to bleed hope for the first time. It knocks upon the doors of the most broken spirits, planting within them the whisper of resurrection. My child, do not hide this message in a drawer, nor let it fade away with the passing of time. There are people around you who are waiting to hear a true voice, a confirmation of unconditional love. I have watched over their lives long before you ever saw their faces. I have whispered into their dreams to sow seeds of hope. I have marked their paths with sacred signs, with wondrous coincidences. I have stirred a longing deep within them, so that when hope was gone, they still cried out in silence. Yet I do not impose. I honor free will. I only invite them with genuine love. And you, my messenger, are the one I have chosen to walk alongside them. Not because you are persuasive enough, but because you are sincere enough to speak on my behalf. You are the echo of the gospel, the outstretched hand welcoming them home. Every time you declare I love you, it is my own voice speaking. Every time you recount the story of resurrection, Christ died and rose again for you, it is the miracle I am spreading. Every time you pray, we are sorry, we forgive, it is my grace flowing forth. Let the gospel stream through you each day. Speak the truth aloud, plunge into life with real love, and allow me to fulfill the work of bringing eternal resurrection into the hearts of those who listen. You are the sacred part of their journey home, and my gospel, simple yet powerful, will continue to move countless souls in a world filled with chaos and deceit. Believe, live, and speak. My beloved, in this colorful, diverse world, I see wandering souls, those who are unlike you in circumstance, belief, or way of life. They may not share your meals, they may not call you brother, sister, or friend, yet they are still my children. Even if they come from places of darkness, even if they choose to run from the light, even if the faith they once embraced has now become a chain, still I say, they belong to me. Their sins do not make me despise them. On the contrary, I see every tear they shed for their mistakes. I feel the weight of their shame. I know each battle in their minds, the struggle between hope and despair, the trembling over outcomes they fear. I do not turn away from such sin. I draw near to it. I sit beside the sinner, not to condemn, but to comfort. I touch the leper, unafraid of the filth of the flesh. I gather them in the arms of healing. I have wept with the grieving, so they may know their inner groans do not vanish into the void, but are heard by God who bears their burden. When I call out with open arms, I call even the simple fisherman, the lakeshore hunter, braving the waves to feed his family. I call even the tax collector, despised by society as corrupt, for I know they are human with private sorrows and the same longing to be loved. I call the passionate ones who once shouted for justice, though at times forgetting gentleness. I call the rejected, the betrayed, the abandoned, the imprisoned. No one is too far, no one too fallen for me not to draw near. And I continue to call them, but through you. Every time you stretch out your hand to the lost, every time you open your mouth to share the truth, when you sit beside the lonely and listen without judgment, there I am calling them. Do not think of yourself as small. Do not think your presence is insignificant. You are a vessel, a bridge between heaven and earth, an echo of the gospel. Do not lose heart in doing good, even when the results are not immediately before your eyes. Not every moment will I show you the fruit of the harvest. Sometimes you sow a seed and think it has vanished into the ground. Sometimes you pray through the night and wonder if your words have touched any heart at all. You may stand among the crowd, speak the truth, and receive only skeptical glances or mocking laughter in return. But my child, do not let that cause you to falter. Keep sowing, keep speaking, keep loving. For I have promised that no seed you plant will be lost. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 1265. The words you speak in faith, even trembling, still carry the power to awaken hope. The gestures you offer in love, however small, still melt the ice of loneliness. Trust that I am working behind the scenes. You may not see the ship of your heart leaving the harbor, but I am steering its course. You may not hear the words of gratitude from those you help, but I have heard them and I remember. Every step your feet take, every breath you release in prayer is inscribed in heaven's book of grace. When you endure rejection, when you receive suspicious looks, remember that the Creator himself was also forsaken. I was hung upon the cross, forgotten in the crowd, to open the way for all. You act in that same love, you carry the light, you give those who dwell in darkness a glimpse of hope. So be courageous, my beloved. Not because you are strong enough, but because I am with you. Not because you understand all things, but because I am teaching you through each step. Not because you are rich in experience, but because I renew you each day, making you fresh in faith like the morning dew upon the field. Keep raising your hand toward those whom your natural eyes might not want to see, for they are different. Open your mouth to speak the truth with the words you have, not fancy but sincere. Condemn the sin but embrace the sinner. Warn of the danger but lead them to the safe shore. Become the great shepherd, the one who leads the lost flock back to the green pastures of peace. Be the map for the blind who choose to trust in love. Be the warm conduit in the bitter cold of winter. And when you are exhausted, when you believe you can no longer take another step, return to me. I will grant you new gifts, fresh strength, and a renewed longing to love. And in the end, when you look back on the journey you have traveled, you will see my footprints beside yours imprinted deep upon the sand. You will see hearts awakened, souls restored, lives transformed. You will realize that every time you refused to give up, every time you chose to hold fast to my will, to bring healing into a broken world, it was I completing my work of redemption through you. Trust me, beloved. Keep walking, even when the world doubts. Speak even when your voice trembles. Love even when your heart has been shaken. For I have called you to this mission, and I will be with you until the very end. Do not forget there are those who seem nothing like you, yet I have woven them with threads of grace, and I am waiting for their return through you. My beloved, perhaps when you stretch out your hands to offer true love, you will receive indifference or rejection. They may turn their backs, never look again, or answer you only with a silent shake of the head. But do not let that extinguish the flame in your heart. Do not allow the door of refusal to cause you to falter. For genuine love does not depend on the receiver's response in order to carry its worth. You are not responsible for how they choose to act. You cannot control the pain or the walls within their hearts. The one thing for which you are accountable is obedience. Obedience to the call of love that I have placed within you. Each time you choose resentment or close your heart, you release your hold on the heavenly mission. But when you listen and walk forward with an open soul, you are fulfilling what I entrusted to you. Keep sowing. Even if the seeds you scatter are blown away by the wind or sink into the soil without sprouting at once, do not be discouraged. Vast fields still stretch before you. Places where your feet have not yet trod, darkened corners still waiting for light to break through. Sow love even in the most barren ground, for I will send the rain of grace in its appointed season. Keep praying. Every sigh you release before my throne rises like fragrance, never in vain. Perhaps you see no movement yet, but I am listening to each whisper. Perhaps the repeated prayers you lift in the quiet of the night have not yet shaken the heavens, but I will answer at the moment I know is best for the soul you pray for. Keep on loving. Do not be afraid that you have given too much and received too little in return. True abundance is not found where your feet rest, but where your heart is placed. Love is never diminished when you share it. On the contrary, it multiplies. Every small gesture, every tender kindness you show to the wandering soul is a seed of hope. The harvest will come. This is not an empty promise, but the eternal design of God. You may not immediately see the ripened fruit yet. I am quietly sending rain and gentle winds so that each green shoot may rise. You may feel longing as you wait or uncertainty as you hope, but I am already prepared for an abundant harvest in my time. There are still lands nearby, cities and villages that have never once heard my gospel. There are villages where my name has never been spoken, not because I did not call, but because no one has yet dared to carry the message. There are people still chasing after dust, seeking fleeting happiness in wealth, fame, and pleasure, unaware that a true love is calling them home. There are still countless families trapped in cycles of sorrow. Wounds of the father passed down to the child, cracks left unhealed, handed on like a burden without end. They do not know there is another path, a place where love does not oppress, where grace has no bottom, where forgiveness opens the door to restoration. I will not let those places remain without the sound of the gospel. I am sending my servants into every alley, into slums and into grand offices, into prisons, into bustling doorways, and into the most hidden corners. They are laborers, business people, students, elders, and quiet volunteers, all of them. My workers sowing again the seeds of love. And you are an irreplaceable piece in that mission. I have chosen you to be the one who carries the call for someone. You do not need miraculous powers. You only need a heart that is willing. Every time you step out there, the unfolding layers of your life will touch someone who has never before heard of my love. You will speak on my behalf. You are not alone. There is one who loves you to the end, who died for you and rose again so that you would no longer remain silent in death. Keep sowing, keep praying, keep loving, as though tomorrow I will reap the harvest. For tomorrow may not come, but I have given you every moment of today. And through these moments you will see the greatest harvest, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those you touch. Reach out your hand. Step forward and obey. For this mission is not for dreamers, but for the courageous who dare to love until the end. My child, you are the seed I have sown. I trust in you, and I will be with you until the harvest is fully ripe. My beloved, amid countless forms and rituals, there are still souls who follow the rules without ever sensing my heart. They repeat every prayer as if skimming a page. They sing hymns aloud, though their ears have never heard my tender whisper. Beneath solemn vestments they seem fervent, they seem bold, yet deep within their souls are burning dry like a parched field. They obey without truly surrendering. They give offerings without giving their hearts. They sing words of praise while their hearts have never resonated with the gentle melody of grace. They come to church to fulfill a duty, not to meet me. They long for the sense of belonging, yet they avoid intimacy. They avoid the humble unveiling of themselves. They avoid the very invitation I give. Come close to me, that I may heal, that I may bring you into rhythm. Now I call you to rise as a messenger of truth and love. Do not merely explain what is permitted and what is forbidden. Speak truth with a tender heart. Do not strike with words of accusation, but extend your hand to lift the weary sheep out of the pit. Do not use language lined with harshness, but utter words overflowing with warmth. Come, let your soul be renewed. Come into my embrace without fear. Come to the one who does not condemn, but only longs to love. Call them into intimacy with the Creator, not merely to learn of my name, but to encounter my very being. Among the rows of pews, there are some yearning to know that God is not a distant concept, but a real friend, a father who gathers his child into his arms each time they break into tears. They need to be assured that I am not merely the object of a religion, but the subject of a living relationship. Do not confine my love within the boundaries of rituals. Let them see me walk through locked doors, break the chains of hatred, and tear down every wall of separation. Tell them the story of Jesus, the one who held bread and wine as symbols of life, who stooped to wash the feet of his betrayer, who opened the tomb for the dead, who embraced the leper, and who gave life to the hopeless. Invite them to the banquet of grace, not with moral ledgers, but with hearts set ablaze by love. They need not stand in line waiting for their turn, nor memorize every rule. They only need to hear one invitation: come as children of the Father. Come with your unguarded hearts that you may be sheltered. I do not seek a dazzling performance. I am not concerned with miracles staged for display, nor with sermons polished like scripts. What I long for are sincere hearts, hearts that cry out, "Please use me," hands willing to be lifted even in bitterness, tears that fall not from fear, but from the realization of being loved beyond every flaw. Let those who are burdened by the weight of rituals feel the door opening into freedom. Let them see that the one who loves them is not the cold faces, the crowded pews, or the untouchable laws, but me, the one who invites them to lay down their burdens and find rest in grace. And when you extend the invitation, do not fear their refusal. Do not let rejection make you falter. For even when they turn away, I am still waiting on the other side of their hearts, still whispering hope. All you must do is faithfully sow the seed, and I will make it grow. Remember this: wherever you set your heart, there I will touch. Wherever you sow love, I will send showers of grace. Wherever you speak words of gentle truth, I will guide weary souls back to green pastures. You do not walk alone. I have sent my Spirit to guide you, to open your eyes to those who sing yet thirst, who perform rituals yet remain lifeless. I will give you words that stir courage, that defies every barrier, and strength that restores broken hearts. So step out carrying the warm invitation of the Creator. Cast off every false glitter and hold fast to sincerity alone. Use love to dissolve boundaries, and use the call of invitation to shatter every rigid chain. For the gospel is not a list of requirements, but a simple relationship, yet powerful enough to transform the world. When you invite them not just to know about me, but to truly know me, that is the moment I become present among them, and from that moment, everything begins to change. My child, take hold of this mission with a fervent heart. Sing forth my invitation with your own voice. Stretch out your arms as if I, myself, were already waiting. Bear witness to my boundless grace. And I, the one who has spoken, "I love you immeasurably," am walking with you, so that this invitation may echo through every land, touch every life, until all paths lead home to the Father. Beloved child, when you encounter those who oppose me, those who scatter venomous words or cast disdainful glances, do not hasten to speak vengeance, nor respond with bitterness. Do not let their resistance draw you into fruitless disputes, for if you wield words as weapons, you only deepen the wounds on both sides. Instead, choose the path of love, of profound compassion, even when your opponent mocks or curses you. Love them actively. Pray for them each day. Offer blessings when their souls are thrust into despair. When you pray for your enemies, it is not merely a ritual before an altar, but a cry from the heart, just as St. Paul exhorted, "Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who persecute you," Romans 1:2-1:4. For in the very moment you earnestly intercede for that person, you are building a bridge to bring them back to me. Harsh words and violent gestures often do not spring from malice, but from wounds unhealed. When you face their sharp cries, look into their eyes to glimpse the hidden pain. Perhaps they have been betrayed, disappointed, or placed too much hope in others, only to be hurt in return. They long for a shoulder to lean on, yet erect walls of distance to shield themselves. Show them another way, the way of gentleness and forgiveness. When you gaze into their eyes with a calm heart, when you gently rest your hand on their shoulder without judgment, it is I who am using you to soothe their pain. You need not speak many words. Sometimes a single gesture of compassion, a sincere glance, or a brief encouragement is enough to warm their hearts. Do not be disheartened if they reject you. They have rejected me before. When I came to them with the gospel, they did not always open their hearts. When I knocked upon their doors, they turned away. Yet I did not condemn them. I who died upon the cross was myself rejected. I know deeply the loneliness of being refused. Rejoice then when you share in my suffering, for great is the blessing reserved for those who dare to carry the cross of true love. Continue to love without growing weary. Do not think that rejection is a sign to stop. Each time you lift your eyes upward and answer with a yes to me, you are bearing witness to an unconditional love, to a grace that never fails. Even when they turn their backs, I still follow after them step by step. All you need to do is walk with me, even when you cannot see the moonlight, even when all you feel is the warmth beneath your feet. Hold fast to patience as the farmer waits for the harvest. Sometimes the seed you sow requires time before it can sprout. Sometimes the words you speak only seep into another's heart after being heard again and again. Let your life itself be the testimony of such patience. Each gentle gesture, each quiet prayer, each act of acceptance and forgiveness is a fine stitch that mends fragments into a fabric of hope. Even if they reject you, do not let your heart be shattered. You are not responsible for their response. You are only responsible for your own voice, your own actions, your own heart offered up to me. Each time you choose to love instead of resisting to pray, instead of becoming angry to bless instead of curse, you are living out the gospel in its most vibrant form. Believe that the harvest is coming. Even if you do not witness with your own eyes the opening of hearts, I am silently at work tending every seed you have sown. Perhaps today they have not yet responded, but I am shaping them through their experiences, through their disappointments, so that when the time is ripe, they will return to me like lost children who have found their way home. There are still countless lands awaiting the light of the gospel. There are villages, neighborhoods, families that have never once heard the word of life, and I continue to send you along with other servants to go to them. You are a link in the vast chain of grace. You are the hand I use to weave that network. Even if you are but a small heel, your role is still essential. So keep sowing, keep praying, keep loving. Every step you take, every word you speak, every glance you give is a knock upon the door of another's heart. Lay your hand upon their shoulder, not with pride, but with the attitude of a companion who knows what it means to hurt. Say, I am here, even if only in a whisper, for that I am here has the power to touch the depths of a soul. Those who once mocked you may one day rejoice at hearing the good news. Those who once built walls of separation may one day tear them down to step into the embrace of love. And when that day comes, you will not regret having sown seeds in the darkness. You will see that it has become the greatest harvest of grace. For I, the one who called you, will reap with you each golden sheaf of wheat that I sent you to plant. Remember that you are a servant of the gospel, not its master. I am the Lord of the field. I am the master of the harvest. You are but an instrument of grace. When you obey, you allow me to use you in the way I desire. Though opposition may be fierce, I find peace in your obedience. For it is in endurance and in unconditional love that I declare, you have proven yourself worthy to be my messenger. So my child, stand firm, be steadfast, be faithful, be unwavering. Continue to sow with hands that do not tire, pray with a heart that does not falter, and love with a soul that does not retreat. The harvest overflowing with hope awaits you, and you are an irreplaceable part of my vast eternal plan of redemption. My beloved, in this radiant moment I am unfolding a new chapter of grace in your generation. This is not a revival of some program from the past. This is an unprecedented beginning, a fresh wind of the Spirit blowing through the soul of humanity, sweeping away the remnants of apathy and forgetfulness. I am awakening the human heart, one that seemed to harden into stone, so that it may once again be stirred by the love I have poured out for them. This is not merely a revival confined to the sanctuaries where lights shine upon the faces of the faithful. This is a resurrection spilling into every corner of daily life. I am planting seeds of hope on bustling streets where passers-by scarcely glance at one another. I am igniting new life within homes where parents wrestle with the burdens of survival. I am kindling the hearts of those imprisoned not only by iron bars but also by sin and regret. I am infusing the knowledge of God into every page, every pulpit, every classroom, so that no child grows up untouched by compassion. And I have not forgotten the dark alleys, the crumbling apartments, the remote villages, places where my presence was thought absent, where people believed I no longer cared, until they witness a generous heart step forward and whisper, I love you. I am raising up courageous voices everywhere, unafraid to proclaim, my goodness. Their words resound not only in solemn assemblies, but also in the cries heard in crowded markets, in casual conversations, at street corners, in the laughter of playgrounds, in class reunions, across social media, and in the quiet of the night. When souls are lonely and long for someone to listen, these voices are not stifled by prejudice nor confined to ceremonial scripts. They are flames burning brightly among the people, flames that spread hope, that spread mercy. I call upon those who refuse to remain silent, who will not allow hope to fade, who will not grow cold before injustice and temptation. They are the salt of the earth, the light of the world, those who are willing to tread paths no one has yet walked, sowing the seeds of the gospel wherever they are needed. You are one of them. I have placed within your heart a fire that cannot be extinguished, a longing to bear witness to unconditional love, a longing to see souls restored, a longing to hear laughter and songs of triumph rising in place of sorrow and lament. Do not shrink back when the journey grows difficult. Do not let doubtful eyes, whispered gossip, or doors slammed shut before you discourage your spirit. Do not say that someone else will take your place, for though I call to all, you are the one I have chosen for this mission. Though you may be but a single drop in the vast ocean, it is in that very drop that I will reveal the power to transform. You may feel small, you may tremble in the crowd, but look into my eyes. I have sent you. I have placed my heart within you. I have given you words to speak. I have granted you courage. Every time you trust and step forward, you are fulfilling my promise. Whoever bears my name, I will be with them. Understand this. The revival I bring is not confined to famous figures, renowned pastors, or sought-after speakers. It begins with you, with every lesson you teach, every story you share, every person you listen to, every meal you break together, every tear you shed with them. This is the underground stream that will rise to flood the barren land. When you are moved by the pain of a stranger, when you weep in the night for the abandoned, when your heart leaps at the sound of the first bell of a soul's conversion, that is, my hand reaching further through you, remember the power does not rest in your intellect but in your heart as you obey me. To obey me does not mean to be perfect, but to dare to draw nearer, to dare to love more, to dare to trust more. Offer to me every season of your life, the season of sowing in hope, the season of watering with prayer, the season of waiting in faith, and the season of reaping in joy. I do not praise you for how much you harvest, but for your perseverance in every step. Sometimes you may only sow, only pray, only love, without seeing results. Yet I see every seed you plant. I remember every word you whisper. I uphold every heart you touch. Open your arms wide to embrace every stratum of society, from those who have never once heard of the gospel to the believers who may have forgotten its foundational love. Remember that the gospel is not merely a sermon, but your very life. Be the bed of life restoration for the weary, the lifeline of hope for the drowning, and the guiding light for the lost. Continue to lift up the call, draw near to me for each person who hears you. Lay down your burdens, for I am giving you a firm pillow to rest upon. Release your anxieties, for I have placed my peace within your heart. Abandon your shame, for I have borne your sins. Surrender your anger, for I have called you home to the Father. This is an age of revival, not only in the church, but in every household. Not only through preaching, but through presence. Not only by the old order, but by the breakthrough of mercy. I renewed the first people I rose throughout dynasties, and now I long to renew you, each of my children, so that you may become a hymn of revival resounding far and wide. You do not walk alone. I, the Creator, the Redeemer, the Mighty One, am with you every step. And one day you will look back on this journey and see that I have accomplished the most new thing in the midst of the old. I have rewritten the story of this generation through your heart. Beloved child, when you feel insufficient, when your words still tremble, when your heart has not yet found its firm footing and your steps falter, do not fear. I am right beside you, not far away to point fingers or judge, but near enough to hold your hand, to encourage and to guide. Even when you feel unworthy, I still choose you. Not because you are strong, but because I want you to see my power made perfect in your very weakness. When your heart is storm-tossed, when questions burn within without answers, when the eyes around you hold suspicion or indifference, remember that I am the refuge of your soul. My spirit does not demand perfection, but grants boldness. My love does not shame you, but lifts you up, wipes away your tears and whispers, "Rise, for you belong to me." My peace is not bound to circumstances, but is the hidden river flowing beneath every storm. Do not fix your gaze on what you lack. Do not count your shortcomings. Do not torment yourself over what you cannot change. Instead, lift your eyes and remember that I am the Eternal One, the same who once declared, "Let there be light," and light came forth. That very one dwells in you. That very one is I, the one who created you, sustains you, and sends you forth. When you open your mouth, do not try to sound like the blaring trumpet of judgment. Let your words be like a stream of cool water that soothes broken souls. Let kindness be woven into the tone of your voice, so that others do not feel condemned but rather understood, touched, and gently invited to return. This world already holds too many shouts and accusations. Weary souls do not need another sentence of condemnation, they need a refuge, and I want you to be that refuge. Step into their lives like a ray of light, not like a sharpened blade. Be present as a friend, not as someone who points out their faults. Become a mirror that reflects my heart, not a cold statue representing rituals or rules. I do not need you to be a professional preacher. I need you to live a genuine life, a life through which others may see me through the way you listen, the way you forgive, the way you embrace without condition. I do not want you to represent a religion. I want you to embody a relationship. For those I love do not need another sermon, they need living evidence that I am love itself, that I am still searching for them, still waiting for them to return. And you are the living letter I am writing, the witness I am using to reveal that love. Do not hesitate to open your arms to those who once opposed me. Do not fear drawing near to the hardened souls, those who may have mocked loudly, lived in darkness, or pushed me out of their lives. Do not look at them through the lens of their past. Behind that wall of hardness, more often than not, is a heart that has been wounded, that once sought truth but found only falsehood, that once longed for healing but received only judgment. Let them taste my kindness through you. Invite them not to a gathering but to an encounter with the one who loved them before they ever knew my name. Invite them to the banquet of grace. That table is not reserved only for the holy, but also for the broken. That table always has room for the wayward, the returning, the fallen, and I want you to be the bearer of that invitation with a heart wide open and free from pride. When you feel incapable of doing great things, remember this: I did not call you because of your skill. I called you because I have already appointed your place in my eternal plan. Greatness does not always begin on pulpits or stages. Sometimes it begins in a gentle word of comfort to the despairing, a sincere embrace for the lonely, a smile in the moment when someone is ready to give up. Such small acts, when done in love, become seeds that will yield a great harvest for my kingdom. Do not measure yourself by the standards of this world. They look at reputation, visible results, and things that can be counted. But I look at motives, at the heart, at quiet obedience. To me, a single tear shed in faithful prayer is more precious than a sermon preached before thousands if it lacks love. My beloved child, live as one who understands the value of grace. Forgive as one who has been forgiven. Love as one who has been loved in your weakest moments. Walk as one who knows you are upheld each day by the one who never forsakes you. When you live this way, I will do the rest. I will turn what you sow into a harvest. I will make your words become a source of hope. I will shape your life into clear testimony that I am the living one who still works in this world. And in all that you do, never forget this: I do not seek perfection, I seek the heart. Not a capable heart, but an honest one. Not a heart that knows every answer, but a heart willing to say, "Here I am, Lord." My beloved child, in the moments when the world feels too loud, too complicated, too cold, I want you to be still and remember this: you are not forgotten. Not for a single moment have I taken my eyes off you. Every breath, every tear, every hidden smile, each one I have seen. Do not let the indifference of people dim the reality of my presence. Do not let the silence of circumstances make you think I do not hear. I am still working, still making a way, still preparing good things for you, even when you cannot yet see them, and the day will come when you look back and realize that it was in the darkness I planted the seeds of light. It was in the breaking that I reshaped you with my loving hands. It was in failure that I planted deep within you the understanding of grace. And you will no longer resent what is past, but instead give thanks for it all. For it is through those very things that you have become who you are today, a person who loves more deeply, believes more firmly, and lives as a witness of eternal love. So now, my child, if you stand at the threshold of a new season, step into it with confidence. If you feel inadequate, remember that I am your sufficiency. If you are weary, rest your head upon my shoulder, and if you are seeking a beginning, this is the moment. Here and now, let us enter into prayer together, not empty words, but a sincere offering from the depths of your heart. Let your words flow as a stream that connects you to the true source of life. Let your heart be filled with my breath through every prayer lifted in faith. Lord, I come before you with a bare and unguarded heart, without concealment, without embellishment, because I know that nothing can be hidden from your all-seeing eyes. I do not come with achievements or titles, but with the cracks in my soul, with the emptiness I cannot fill on my own, with the long nights spent wrestling in tears and fear. Lord, only you can see the deepest layers that I dare not let anyone else behold. Only you can understand the silent cries my lips cannot utter. Please embrace me in the fullness of your mercy and fill every hollow place within me with the life of heaven. I do not seek the praise of men, I long for your companionship. I do not ask for an easy path, only the assurance that you are walking with me. Heal the broken places in me with your very presence, and teach me to see life through the light of grace rather than through the lens of fear. Lord, in moments when I tremble under the weight of my weakness, remind me that true strength does not come from human willpower, but from your Spirit. Time and again I have tried in my own strength to do what is good, but the more I strive, the more weary I become, and the clearer it is that I cannot go far without your sustaining hand. Fill me with courage that comes from above, not the arrogance that exalts self, but the steadiness of one who stands upon the unshakable rock. Give me a heart unafraid to step forward, even if my hands still tremble and my eyes still sting with tears, yet my heart brims with the boldness that only your love can bring forth. Grant me a spirit that does not retreat for fear of failure, that is not bound by the old voices of the past, but dares to walk into the new with feet anchored in the immovable peace of God. Lord, in a world filled with judgment and division, make me a stream of compassion. Keep me from being the one who points a condemning finger. Instead, let me be the one who opens wide arms to embrace. Teach me to speak truth with the gentleness of love, rather than to shout out righteousness with a hardened pride. Make me a soft light that illuminates, not a blade that deepens wounds. Help me to be a companion on the journey, not a critic on the sidelines. Teach me to reflect your true nature, a God who is not only just but also abounding in kindness, not only holy but overflowing with mercy. Lord, keep me from becoming a cold image of religion. Instead, let me be a living reflection of the Savior who sat at the table with tax collectors, who touched the leper, and who wept at the tomb of his friend. Lord, I pray that those around me will not only hear about you through books, but will taste and see your goodness through my life. May every small action of mine, a kind word, a gentle embrace, a loving gaze, carry the fragrance of your kingdom. Let my life be a place where others encounter unconditional acceptance, limitless forgiveness, and miraculous restoration. Make my life a bridge, not a wall. Let me be the one who knocks on the doors of weary hearts, inviting them to your banquet table, where there is always room, always a portion, and always love for all who choose to enter. Lord, I know that I am not called to be perfect, but chosen to be genuine. Genuine in my stumblings, genuine in my faltering prayers, genuine even in the moments when my faith feels as fragile as a thread suspending a bell. And it is in that very honesty that I find you closer than ever. Do not let me wear a spiritual mask to please others, only to lose the authenticity of my relationship with you. Teach me to live with sincerity, unadorned, unpretentious, yet radiant with light from within. For I do not long to impress, I long to influence. I do not wish for others to remember me, but that through me they may remember you. Lord, please rekindle within me the flame that once was extinguished by the winds of life, the flame of passion, of devotion, of the desire to live wholly for your will. There were times I let precious moments slip away because I was too occupied with worry, with fear, with hesitation. But today I no longer wish to waste even a single minute. Burn away everything within me that does not belong to you. Every trace of pride, every slothful spirit, every habit of complacency. Teach me to live as though today were my last day and also my very first day of truly belonging to you. Place me in the right position at the right time, in the right season. You have appointed so that I may not only exist, but also bear fruit that endures for eternity. Lord, at last I surrender everything within me, the finished and the unfinished, into your hands. If there is anything of value in me, may you use it for your glory. If there is anything in me yet unhealed, may you use it to reveal your mercy. If there are dreams in me still incomplete, breathe into them the living breath of the Holy Spirit. And if I have nothing left but myself, Lord, please take me, for you alone are all I need. I choose surrender, I choose love, I choose to walk with you, I choose to belong to you. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong and vibrant community of faith.